Okay, as a marketer, me marketing your message, I think you could say the same things, but not seeming like you're on the other side. I think.
Right. And that's what I started out with. I am a God loving person, and I'm looking at all human beings, and I fail often. That's how we learn. When you get a question wrong on a test, you learn, because then you get to get the right answer. But my concern, and this is what I have learned, is that when coronavirus hit and everybody was locked up, and everybody's saying, it's really good to be home with the fam, playing games and making puzzles and stuff. This is cool. And then when it went past 2 weeks, people were like, all right, that's enough. Because that's not who we are, Okay.
Right. You're right.
So you can't go to the park. You can't go play. You can't, do your mask, all this stuff, cover up your smile. None of us could see our expressions anymore. And I feel that depression or that mentality was starting to get to me, and physically. Yeah. So as I move forward, I grew up in a family, my dad, he was in the war, and he was a Goodyear employee. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, because what are you going to do with 7 kids besides cook, clean, and sew? She couldn't get out of the house. It was a big deal because she worked for the voting booth. And every year, come November, that was my mom's big fancy day. My dad took a day off of work, and he would do everything. And he was so hysterical. He would walk around with a dish towel hanging out of his pocket like he was just slaving over all us kids and everything. And we always got a big kick out of it because Mom worked. So that's where I come from. And the word America was huge. And I had this picture of how things should be and what America was. And we fought for our rights, and we fought for this, and we did all this. And right now, what happened, not so much, I started out the show talking about the list of events, including the impeachment attempt. But the next thing with the coronavirus, I felt like it was something that was destroying America. Then followed up with this. Now I'm looking at, well, wait a second. I get the protest. I get the message. I love it. I love seeing that many people getting together about the same cause. This has to make a difference. We have to do better, and it must make a difference. There's no choice anymore, because in the big picture, Sage, in the big picture, what the hell has happened to America? And what are we gonna do? And then somebody says we were so freaking jaded just because we weren't protesting. Other black people have been killed, and other protests have taken place. And I'm like, exactly. So what the hell what are we gonna do about it so it doesn't mother effing happen again? This has to stop, because America is crumbling, and the family values and the things that we were built on, and the communities and the businesses, if I might, but black people are a part of that. And there's successors, and there's poor parts, and there's poor people, and there's home people. And unfortunately, currently, that is what our country recipe is made of, and it has to change. And so I'm just going, okay, but what about America? We've got to strengthen and bring it together, or what will we be besides a war zone?
Right.
Your turn.
Yeah, that's beautifully powerful and correct. So what's interesting, and again, I have this working theory that I blame it all on the politicians. So you want exactly what every American wants, and may I say, feels. So you've mentioned the impeachment, and I'm assuming you maybe didn't care for the impeachment, which is fine. But what's funny is there are people on the other side of that were trained to think that without the impeachment, America would crumble. So you see how it's the worry about crumbling America is actually a unifying statement. But then you take the two political parties and you put them in the middle there, and then they teach us to think that it's the other side that is ruining America, when all along it is them that's ruining America. Let me tell you something else. So, I tend to lean liberal, and although I will
really?
say, I'm what?
I said, really? I think we're both saying I tend to lean, but we're not claiming. I don't know what I am. I just know that I give a shit. I give I care. Like so crazy care. And I want to be the best temple that I can possibly be for God and to lead. Period.
Right.
And right now I suck at it.
That means you don't suck at it. That's the secret words and wisdom, that you actually don't suck at it. So, like, when I look at my Facebook feed, all I see is negative Trump stuff, okay? And may I say, social media and the media are culpable in this as well. I believe the ringleaders are the two political parties, but everybody else lines up behind them, all for money. They all want the money. So at any rate, when I look at my social media feed, it's all anti-Trump. But if I dig into it and I start watching actual Trump speeches and I look at Trump policies, there is some truly good stuff in there. Okay, like he funded over, $1.8 billion on autism. He has a bill that is going to demand that doctors and hospitals show the price of medical procedures. And then I tell my liberal friends that, and their response is, well, even a broken watch can be right twice a day. They won't, they've been brainwashed. They have been brainwashed. We've all been brainwashed because, and the social media is confirming it even more. And so we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to, Beverly, I believe, have conversations like this. Okay?
Yep.
Where maybe there doesn't have to always be a podcast, but a podcast would be good so other people could hear them.
Yeah.
But we need to talk with each other, because otherwise we are divided up and we are in our little silos and we are ready to murder each other, which is exactly where all the power players want us to be. They want us at each other's throats, because then they don't, the focus is off of them and they can easily manipulate us. They are dangerous, dangerous people.
Where did all the good leaders go?
Well, you know what? You said something that might be it. You said CNN. And now, not that CNN was bad, but the 24-hour news cycle. I wonder if the 24-hour news cycle became a mental illness.
Yeah. 100%. I'm home, Sage. I'm home, and I have to set the clock on my stove so I will not look at my phone. I have to set. I have to. And then any projects that I'm working on, because I'm a writer, I have to have my phone in a different room so I can work on it. Now I have it on so I know the sound if a text comes through. I always worry about my daughters and my boyfriend. So I have the sound on in case a text comes through. I have to have, being home, have to have the television off. It's an effort for me to turn it on, because you want to talk about addiction. And So absolutely, and it's hard because I'm writing in Word, and I'm writing articles, and to just not click over to one of the news mediums or Facebook. So I'm signed out of everything, and I have to focus. So yes, mental illness, addiction, I am. Now, if you look at my Facebook feed, you're going to see a bunch of puppies, a bunch of flowers, a bunch of decorating, and then boom, you're going to see me just say, somebody woke Sleepy Joe up. Because I'm just hoping that, for people who have faith in him, I'm hoping if this happens with him, that he will, and I'm not being mean, I want him to be able to string sentences. I want him to be able to be in front of world leaders. It's an issue, and you're blind if you can't see it. And then on the other side of things, and I mean this, it's like, Trump, I wish he wouldn't have done that. Oh, dang. Because regardless, going back to how I was raised, you respected the president of the United States no matter who he was. And so that's why I'm saying to you.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If Sleepy Joe becomes president, are you going to stop calling him Sleepy Joe? Are you going to do it?
Only if he stops sleeping during interviews.
Okay, so you're not going to always respect the president.
No, I'll have to. I'll have to.
Okay, then you can't call him Sleepy Joe anymore.
I'll have to. Oh, that's hilarious. And then
well, then you're not respecting him.
And then,
we all do it, Beverly. We're all guilty.
Oh, right now, respect has gone up my window. And then you have, and I'm doing this just for levity, just for a joke. But then you'll also see on my feed where Nancy Pelosi is speaking, and she has a glass of water, and I'll say, she has the vodka with her today. I mean, so
she probably does. She probably loves a good drink.
Oh my God! There's just so many things.
I hear you. I totally hear you.
So what I'm getting at is you can't you can't make this shit up. This is not SNL. This is really them. This is a video. It's not fake. She really said that. He really said that. And I'm like, oh my God. It used to be a really cool thing to want to be a politician when I was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I graduated with people that became, little congressmen and got involved in the communities and stuff like that. But now it's, please, these guys are in their 70s. Where is the hot 50-year-old with conviction? He looks good. He's gorgeous. He's fun to look at.
Who is this? Who did
smart.
You say?
Huh?
Who? I can't hear the name.
I'm describing somebody who doesn't exist. I said...
I wanted to know who this was.
I said, where is the hot guy or woman that just knows it and is educated? I want to know, where's our good leaders?
I know.
Where'd they go?
I know.
But we
did you follow that Yang guy? Did you like him?
Who? Yang?
Oh, Yang. They called him he had the Yang Gang. I knew some conservatives that were really behind him.
Oh no, I don't. I'm not. And see, that's the other thing. See, you call me a conservative again. That's the other thing. I just want to see, do we need a president of the United States? Do we need leadership?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or should it be
it's an impossible job. It's not even realistic.
People that get it and can work together. I mean, we've been under this leadership and this voting system for so long over one leader. I talked about us being a family. We needed parents. We needed somebody telling us what was right and wrong, but there were two of them. And when we get a vice president and a president, we all know the VP. What are they doing? They're cutting up coupons, for the go to the grocery store. The vice president, and so I mean, maybe that structure. I mean, I'm just saying, these men are in their 70s. I'm not putting them down. I'm not. We live longer. The other day I'm like, this is the first time I felt 60 because I was crying so hard. But up to that point, like today, I feel like I don't feel any different than from when I first figured out I was an adult. I don't feel 60 years old. So
That's awesome.